This is our cooked with M&S honey glazed pork chops with butter bean mash. For our cooked with M&S honey glazed pork chops, you'll need some garlic, 1 whole lemon, our cooked with M&S turmeric and ginger root paste, some honey, 3 tins of butter beans for our mash, some cider vinegar, some tender stem broccoli, and some pork chops. You'll need 1 for each person. And for our equipment, we will need a jug for mixing our marinade in, a food processor for our butter bean mash, a shallow dish for marinating our pork chops, and an oven-proof dish for cooking our pork chops. So the first thing we are going to do is preheat our oven to 200 degrees, and then we are going to start on our marinade. And our marinade is half a jar of our turmeric and ginger root paste, 4 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, the juice of 1 lemon, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Now we are going to mix together until it is all combined, then we are going to pour it into our shallow dish. Once we have poured our marinade into our shallow dish, we are then going to put our pork chops in and turn them over in our marinade so that both sides are covered. Now we are going to leave our pork chops to marinate for 5 minutes. So meanwhile, our pork chops are marinating, we are going to start on our butter bean mash. So for that we will need the remaining half a jar of our cooked with M&S turmeric and ginger root paste. We will also need to put in 3 tins of drained and rinsed butter beans and 2 cloves of garlic and 5 tablespoons of olive oil. Keep on processing your butter beans until you have a nice smooth mash. So now we are going to add some olive oil to a pan and sear our pork chops for 1 to 2 minutes on each side. After 2 minutes on each side, we then remove the pork chops and leave them on the plate to rest, and then we move on to our next batch. Once all of your pork chops have been seared, transfer them to an oven-proof dish and arrange your broccoli nicely around them. Then we are going to drizzle some olive oil on top, then place them in our oven, our preheated oven at 200 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. Whilst our pork chops are in the oven, we are going to transfer our butter bean mash into a large saucepan and heat it through gently and making sure we stir it continuously. And also we like to add a knob of butter and some freshly ground salt and pepper. After 12 minutes of the pork chops being in the oven, they are ready to serve.